Hello YouTube, it's Sean from the Pompey Games Room here, back with another video, and I am absolutely super excited to be recording this episode because it's going to be featuring one of my oldest mates. I've known him since we were about 10 or 11, so it's pretty much about 26 years we've known one another, and pretty much all my video game history goes back to things that we did, playing on Mega Drives together, PlayStation 1s and N64s, and even PlayStation 2. Not so much modern day consoles, but it formulated my nostalgia really for this channel, and I've got so many happy memories with Rob. So he has been to the London video game market with me before. He's also chipped in with some sound bites on some pickup videos I've made, more notably on Risky Woods when I picked that up for the Mega Drive, a game he absolutely hates and will not be making this video, I'm sure, for him. So what we decided to do is we've been wanting to do a YouTube video together for a long time, and we finally settled on the idea that we are going to do a video game top trumps episode. So how it's going to work is we have picked 5 genres of video games, and I've got them written down here so I don't forget. They are puzzle, sports, platformers, simulation and beat 'em ups. What we're going to do is we are each going to select a game that we have either played or we have in our collection, that we have memories of. The beauty of this is that I'm very much into my retro games. Rob is into his retro games, but also very much into sort of his modern day stuff. So the actual broad spectrum of games that we're going to get in this episode could be quite funny. I've obviously gone very retro with my choices. I don't know what Rob's picked. I'm filming this before I dial up Rob a bit later this evening. So what I'll do is I'll let Rob explain his video game past and what he's done and what he's into and bits and bobs like that, so you get to know him a bit, because we actually want to make a few more of these videos because I'm pretty sure they're going to be good fun to make. We've got a few ideas moving forward as well. So I also just wanted to tack onto this video that Rob and his wife are both in the healthcare and residential sort of sectors at the moment with in regards to frontline working with this coronavirus. I just wanted to say, huge respect to Rob and his wife. Really appreciate all the hard work they're doing. And mate, I hope that this puts a smile on your face, this video, and helps you, really helps you sort of go back to when we could actually go out and be less than 2 meters apart. So anyway, I will now hand you over to our video and let Rob explain his video game past. So Rob, YouTube Rob. This is my good friend Rob, like I said, who I've known for about 26 years now. I think it's about 26 years anyway. I said that in the first part of the video. Would you say that's about right?
I'd have done less than murder, to be honest, wouldn't I? 26 years, goodness me.
Oh, it's a life and a half, that, isn't it? So yeah, this is, I meant to mention actually in the first part of the video that Rob and I really want you guys to actually comment below after we've made our selections, and just let us know who you think wins on this top trumps video. We've got 5 categories. We're both going to have a game that we'll select, but I did touch on it briefly. I was going to let Rob start off by giving you his gaming background and a bit of gaming history. But first off, I just want to apologise for my haircut. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just shocking. I watched back the first part of the video before I did it, and before we did this part, and I've got to admit it was so bad. But anyway, yeah, so
you're looking more and more like Ron Burgundy.
stay classy, Ron. Stay classy.
You just need to trim the beard out a little bit.
Well, I actually tried. I actually shaved, and you know what? I actually shaved for this video, and I thought, I don't know why I bothered. So I missed quite a lot.
Me too.
No, I looked very.
But you shaved your face though, right?
Yeah,
I shaved for hours. No, my face.
Yeah, missed it all. So anyway, yeah, Rob, sidetracked. If you want to sort of give us your sort of a few bits and bobs that you like gaming wise, and sort of what we grew up playing, and bits and bobs like that, and then we'll start off with the first category.
I noticed you said you were going to introduce me as, this is Rob, one of my oldest friends.
Yeah. As
if I was like 95 years old, and he's like coming live from a care home in Eastbourne. Rob, he's very happy to be with us today. Doesn't know who I am.
No, that's Ryan.
Anything like that.
That's Ryan. We both love Ryan. So Ryan, it's totally different. Yeah, totally different. So
my name's Rob. I'm a Pisces. I'm looking for someone who enjoys long walks on the beach. That's the thing. Apparently, I'm one of your oldest friends, and I'm drinking extra Irish stout. It might slide in and out of the screen at some point. Maybe.
Product placement.
Maybe. Well, if you're looking for good times, then you can't go far wrong. You can't go far wrong with extra Irish stuff.
I don't know if I've got any Irish subscribers.
It's not even
but...
Irish. It's offensively Irish.
It actually says that on the bottle, doesn't it? You said.
Yes. So when we were young, we used to play lots of consoles. So my first recollection of computer games was like a Commodore Plus 4 and a Commodore 64, where we would get games on tapes, and you would insert it into the cassette and insert the cassette into the keyboard and the keyboard into the TV, and you'd press play, and you'd wait like 45 minutes for it to stop screeching and load something up. And you thought,
for a failure screen.
you thought this better be good. This has taken a long time. I remember one of our favourite games was the Batman game, because it was colour. You can imagine that. And it took so long to load that you wanted to play it regardless of how terrible the game was. So you play it and think, this is really rubbish. And think, yeah, but it took such a long time to load.
I've invested 7 years of my life waiting for this to load.
We've got to have at least 10 more goes of it before we decide to play something much better. So yes, you said all the old tape machines, and then probably the Master System was the first kind of console. I remember there's probably an Atari in there somewhere, but kind of a Master System, and then the Mega Drive, which is probably where we racked up the most time together.
Yeah,
on
definitely.
Like every Mega Drive game.
Yeah.
that we could purchase for £3.50
from Ross Records.
Ross Records in Portsmouth, and cram into our backpacks before we got back onto our bikes.
Yeah.
And cycle to our respective destinations. So yes, a lot of the Mega Drive games, and then PS1, PS2, and then I kind of got away from consoles into kind of PC gaming, and did strategy games and first-person shooters on PCs, where it is obviously a lot better to do because you're on a mouse and you've got a mouse and a keyboard. And then came back to consoles and decided to see how the other half live, and maybe the grass is always green on the other side, and went for an Xbox rather than a PlayStation, whereas Sean always has PlayStations. So a little bit of tension there. A little bit.
We're not going to lie, Rob, are we? We're not going to lie. There is a lot of tension.
Talk about it. It's just it's an uncomfortable silence comes up.
It would have been 28 years friendship, but those uncomfortable 2 years in the early part of 2010 to 2012.
2 years after that.
The barren years, as they call them. So anyway.
Come back to something from Sony. Seller. Loser. And an Xbox 360, which is probably joint with the Mega Drive for my favourite consoles, which is fantastic. And I still play 360 games, kind of regularly. And now I've got an Xbox One. So because you've got a shelf full of Xbox 360 games. So
have you got a Wii as well?
Oh yes, got a Wii.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how because obviously the Wii came out, it was so big for the motion control element to it, all the games as well. And I kind of just, in my mind, associated it with motion control games. And then it was only kind of the last couple of years that I thought, well, I want a console for a child. And, the Switch is like 260 odd quid. And the Wii is literally £20 for the Wii. And there's just so many kid-friendly games to it, and they're really good games. Not just the motion control ones, but the ones you actually use the controllers for. And you can get a retro-styled controller you plug into that as well. That is kind of reminiscent to, it's quite reminiscent to a Mega Drive, really. So, or a SNES console, probably a better comparison.
You bought the Wii at the right time, because everyone I watch on YouTube says that Wii games are going up in price. Like, they're just shockingly expensive. I remember when we went to London Video Game Market, because you bought 2 Wii games, I think to recall. And I think you probably bought those at the right time, so they seem to be going up in price. So
because they're so cheap, they were like like £2.
Yeah,
how badly can this go?
Yeah, I know, it's a bit crazy, isn't it?
And it's also backwards compatible to the GameCube.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that's just added kind of a whole library of games and that stuff to it as well. But probably the things that I play the most are the probably Xbox One, to be honest, because it's so ludicrously easy in every respect. So, and the games are, cheap.
Do you buy physical copies or download?
A bit of both, but usually whichever's cheapest. So I'll go on and say, okay, how much is the downloadable copy, right? Okay, and if I buy this secondhand from CEX and have the posted to me, how much is that, and how much cheaper is that? So usually going to get the physical, but no, it is helpful getting the downloadable, especially if you get like a downloadable Xbox 360 game, because then I can play it on the Xbox One or the Xbox 360 either without having to use a physical media for it, because it will come up on both my libraries.
Yeah, sure.
So
that makes a lot
you
of
can
sense.
just kind of chop and change either one. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool. Okay. So that's Rob's console history there. So it's quite in depth actually. I was, very impressed. Very impressed.
Oh, good.
Must be all these Irish. So.
Yeah. Start slipping into the accent. You'll point it out to me.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Even the comments pointed out and said.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
sure they will. Yeah, to be sure. That's all right. I was quite proud of that. So, Rob has been through already off screen beful we started what order he wanted to do this in. I've only written the first two, so from 3 to 5 is going to be a bit of a lucky dip. So
Shambles. That's what it is.
I couldn't even get the recording stuff to work to start off with, so it's not gone great. I'll be honest. The first part of this.
But you told me you shaved, and yet you've got a beard. So this is how.
Yeah. Obviously, it's lost a few brain cells along the way. So we have both agreed that we're going to start off with platformers. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you guys listen to our suggestions and our sort of games, not necessarily our all-time favourite games, they're games that say like, I've never really played Call of Duty games before, so I'm obviously not going to pick a Call of Duty game for say like, just making sure we got it on here. We haven't got shooters this episode, so that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we might do future episodes on that. So I think our actual game selections are going to vary quite a lot, so it could make quite a good video, or might not. So we'll see. So we're going to start off on platformers, and we're going to do some notable mentions as well. So I think a lot of people that watch my channel especially would have said, they probably would have thought I would have said Sonic 2, but I thought I'm not going to go Sonic 2 on this one, and I'm going to go completely left field. I would say it's probably my second favourite, although I've said previously that Earthworm Jim is my second favourite, but I'm going to go Abe's Exodus on the PS1. I absolutely loved Abe's Exodus. So what I'm going to do is I'll put some footage in as we talk about this, so we don't have to keep looking at us as we're talking. Abe's Exodus. So my memories of Abe's Exodus, we got it for one Christmas, and we'd never even heard of the game series before. I think Ed had not long had a PlayStation 1, so we had Abe's Exodus, and we absolutely obliterated it. We played it probably for about, it was the only game in the PlayStation for I'd say at least 6 months when we got it, and it was just the variety, the actual detail, the fact that you had to remember combinations to talk, and it was a bit of a puzzle game as well, and I'm not great on puzzle games, so obviously you had to solve lots of things along the way. You had to save all of his fellow alien friends along the way. You could take over, possess people with farts. What's not to like there? Very childish, but what's not to like? And also you could lead people to their ultimate death if they were blind by leading them over vertical drops. So all of those things have been ticked in Abe's Exodus. Like I said, I haven't really played Odyssey, but I have played it since. But I think just for the nostalgic memories, really, Abe's Exodus is the platformer suggestion that I'm going to go for. So that's my platformer suggestion anyway. So it's a lot of pressure, Rob. It's the first one. What's the
you can lead blind people to their deaths.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can do that. It's a bit like Lemmings. There's a few vertical drops in the game where you can just walk those right over the side if they're blind. Or even better, if you explode them on one of those mines, they fly over. So it's great. Great fun.
You begin to see why Sean has lost a lot of friends over the years.
That 2-year hiatus now isn't looking too bad. Yeah, it's not looking too bad, that 2-year stint that we didn't talk now, is it? Yeah, that's...
It's a solid choice, and I saw in your last video, Earthworm Jim, which also was very impressed, which is a really solid choice. I mean, you said you haven't gone for the obvious, which is Sonic 2. I thought
you might.
Obvious.
Yeah, I thought you might.
I've gone Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man of few words. Sonic 2.
That's great. Next question.
It's kind of, I've come back to it again and again, and introduced it to my own children who've kind of been blown away. And look at the colours of this, and look how kind of simple the controls are, and yet how complex the game can become just with a kind of a jump and a spin.
Yeah.
And how kind of fast-paced it can be, where you're just spinning from screen to screen. And the interestingness of the end of level bosses, when you actually got to an end of level boss and think, what is Dr. Robotnik put together this time? From
that little scamp.
That little scamp from the Acme store of evil vehicles. And
who makes those? Where's he buying those from? Seriously.
Because Woolworths has gone out of business, hasn't it? So where's they getting it? Where's they getting it?
Yeah.
No. You get anything on eBay these days.
There's like a we buy any deaf instrument instead of we buy any car. So that's.
It's just so fun, really. It's kind of they say the best kind of games are ones which are kind of easy to play but difficult to get really good at. Whereas you can kind of pick it up and within a couple of minutes you've got a good idea of what you've got to do. But to have the patience, because you can't save it, to work all the way through to the end, and the amount of times you've gone and done those first levels.
You could probably do them blindfolded.
You probably do blindfolded, and I could probably get a piece of paper and pen with you and draw out what the first levels kind of look like, because you get through. And there was no. I played with my daughter, and she said, "Oh, I've died. That's no more credits. So how do I go back to that?" And they say, "Well, let me introduce you to the fact that you've got to go back to the very start and put in some serious time to get back to that again." But and you've got Tails as well, and you've got the the bonus levels where you can do kind of the verses and that kind of thing. And,
I was going to say that's one thing I really loved about Sonic 2, the fact that you had the 2-player speed challenge and things like that. I thought that was always cool. We used to play that a lot actually. So
even my I mean, obviously the graphics are what they are, but at the time were pretty impressive on the Mega Drive. And that's obviously the reason why Sega chose it as its kind of flagship for the system. And even on my kind of 65-inch 4K TV, but which is very cheap and available from the following places. Well,
we'll put something along here.
It holds up pretty well, the kind of colour and the definition. So and probably the biggest testament to it is the fact that it came out how many years ago?
I think it was 92.
People are still talking about. I'm still talking. We're still talking about it right now. Sure, which is a testament to how good it is. So I think there'll be a unanimous decision. It'll be the biggest landslide in political history towards Sonic 2. I think away from whatever alien, sadomasochistic game you were kind of leaning towards.
I can't come back from that. That's quite good. There's a lot of big words in there. So, I wouldn't. And to be honest, I could have. I'll be honest, Rob. It's not a mock on you at all. But I could have played it safe. I didn't. I rolled the dice. I've gone for something a bit different. So,
when I walk up to the plate, some people step up, some people don't.
Just swing it, see what happens. Well, we'll let the comments decide. So, and thanks to my trusty ballpoint pen here, this is the last involvement it had writing numbers next to them. And the next one we've got is beat 'em ups. So you did say beat 'em ups, didn't you? Which
Yeah,
is totally right.
I'm
Okay.
gonna beat you. Oh no, sorry, go on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Beat 'em ups. I thought you were going to go for Sonic 2. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that's why I didn't go for it, because I think also the fact is I went for it in my last video. So I
Right.
thought I'm going to do something different. So I've gone for the Warriors on the PlayStation 2. I absolutely loved that game. Again, heavily influenced through playing it with my younger brother. And we shouldn't probably been playing it at that time.
Yeah.
Even with my older brother as well. And I think even we played it once or twice. We probably did. But I've never seen the film, which you're probably now going to scowl at me. I thought you might have seen it.
It's a great movie.
From the game, I mean, you pretty much watch the movie in the game. It's brilliant. But I love the fact that you could just go and steal car stereos and then just get into fights with homeless people just walking around. it's I'm not coming across very well in this video. No unsolved murders around Portsmouth at the moment. So I just love the fact that it was a real sort of, and also you could play it in 2-player co-op to go through the whole story. And I've bought the game no fewer than 3 times, 3 separate occasions over the last 5 years, thinking I didn't own it. And I've got like 3 copies of the same game upstairs. So if anyone wants a copy of it, let me know. So I've definitely got 2. I've seen 2 knocking around up there. So but I'm positive I've got 3. So yeah, anyone wants? Rob, it's not a bribe. It's not a bribe. Not a bribe.
But you say you think you've got 3, but this is relying on your memory of the fact that you didn't think you had any in the first place.
That's fair
So,
point. Again, yeah, yeah, you're right. That's fair enough. I mean, also the memory of me at the moment, I can't even remember when I'm supposed to be writing numbers next to bullet points. So
could it be that you've got 1, but you put it next to the mirror? Is that possible? Is that possible?
It could be 1 copy of the game next to 2 mirrors. You never know. So one's in back. I know 1 is backwards though. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
So no, I'm going to go on beat 'em up. So I'm going to go for the Warriors, PlayStation 2, a game that I, sort of money I'm earning now. Really, I've got 3 copies of it. So I just walk past. Just pick it up. I
just throw copies of the Warriors around the place, all over town.
If I could blow my nose on him, I would.
Yeah.
So
I even light my fags with a burned copy of the Warriors.
I don't even smoke, but I might take it up just to do
Yeah.
So no. So I've gone for the Warriors. Like I said, massive memories, and it brought a bit of. I think it was a Rockstar game. I think it was. I apologise if it's not, but it reminded me of the GTAs that came after. I always thought was like the Warriors.
Yeah.
So I went for the Warriors. So what's your selection, Rob?
Well, I've never played the Warriors, but I think
I've got a copy of it if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's £5. So if you want,
to you 10.
Yeah.
I seem to remember hearing that somewhere about some loose copies around. But I really like the movie, and so I can see where it come from. And although I've not played it, I think I might have seen it in some reviews about good movies games that have transitioned well from a movie, because
what I've read, it's actually been top of those lists.
Yeah. And so I can see why you would pick that. So I think I'll give that a go.
Yeah. Nice.
I've played it safe. Again, predictable. Can you guess what it is?
I tell you what, I'm going to write it down, and as you say it, because I don't want to sort of give it away, so I'm going to hold it. Just let me know when you're going to say it. Okay.
It's Irish time at the moment.
Okay, so I got it here. So you let me know. On 3, you say it, and I'll hold it.
Right.
Oh, this will be so bad if it's not. Is that the right way? Yeah. No, mirrors and all that, isn't it? So on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, there you go. Got it. Again, I could have very easily gone Streets of Rage, but I didn't. So
I've predicted all of this. You didn't need to be here, Rob.
The worst thing is
Right.
that I said in the first part of the video, which you will watch, the first part of the video, I said Rob's very much into his modern day gaming, but I'm very much into my retro. So it will really show. I haven't picked one sort of game that people know I'm sort of into at the moment. So a little bit. Thankfully, I am going to redeem myself. But sorry, I'm interrupting. You carry on.
It's all right. Fine. It's your channel, Sean. You set the rules. The Streets of Rage 2. I mean, as you all know, and probably people will know because you probably mentioned it over the years, your fondness of the game. We put in some serious time into the Streets of Rage franchise. You know, kind of memories of it being beautiful, sunny, your days where your butterflies going down the path. You're thinking, right, what are we gonna do this afternoon? Let's draw the curtains so the sunlight doesn't reflect off the TV, and then play Streets of Rage for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that you couldn't save it was probably a key part to the fact that it's not something you picked up and put down. It's you probably went through it for a marathon and think, right, I'm gonna try and beat this all the way through. And then knowing you're lucky, probably be one level towards the end, and you'd be called and like, okay, you got to go now, Sean. And you're like,
That reminds me of a story in a minute. I'm going to say something.
Just can we fake our deaths for just 2 minutes? Because there's something we could do just to distract the world. Just get through and finish the last game. It's the fact that you can do it cooperative is the central draw to that, and the fact that it's relatively simple to pick up, but the difficulty is kind of a well progressed, well kind of staged game. The fact that it's you get interesting baddies coming into it, with unique kind of character.
Yeah, they were. I'll definitely agree with that.
Coming into it. The fact that none of it made sense really at all. You pushed. I'm trying to remember which way it was, because I remember there was one of them where you could call up backup, right, and then your backup
was the first one.
And there was backup where like a car would drive up and like two guys would get out. Am I making this up? Two guys would get out with their bazookas and they go rocket launchers.
That's it. Yeah, and they would just shoot.
And then like, and you think, I'm in an underground car park. How's that working?
They're good shots, Rob. That's why they're in.
How's those rockets coming out? Or you think, I'm on top of a skyscraper. Where are you driving up to? I imagine the lift doors open and these guys just drive out. Right. And you think, yeah, cheers to that guy. But do you want to stay and help at any time?
He's got a knife.
Escape to a notice that the two of us have fought thousands and thousands of people by ourselves with nothing but our bare hands. And
I'm sure someone's called the police.
Or knife. And then you're heading off. Is there a 2-for-1 sale down at the donut shop or something? What's going on? This is reckless at best.
What was it? We got another call of another fight breaking out in the car park. Someone else will get that. So that's fine. Bazooka, you say?
Yeah, John. Yeah. Cheers, guy. By the way, do you want to
can't stand that guy.
Help anytime. No. That's.
He owes me money, that guy.
You get one shot of this, and then I'm off again.
Look, I'm not even looking at this one. Watch.
There
you go. Got it.
High play.
That's a fair point. The story I was going to say, and I was trying to think how I was going to get this in, but I've told you this story so many times. The funniest thing that ever happened to me when I was calling up for you on the phone back in the days we used to do. I called up, and I think your brother Stephen answered the phone. And it's clear as day. And even back then, it just made me laugh. You know what I'm going to say? He shouted up the stairs, "Rob, Millhouse is on the phone." I don't know, just you mentioned that I always remember Streets of Rage 2 at your house, but being called Millhouse by your brother, that hurt. That's no, that was I used to love that. But anyway, so yeah, solid selection in Streets of Rage 2.
As you said, you told me about the fact you can get it on your mobile, these days, and I played the first few levels with my 5-year-old. I'm not going to we're winning Parent of the Year awards, and then thinking, what? probably this isn't age appropriate for 5-year-old. There's actually quite a lot of violence. So maybe I should turn it off.
Well, the thing is, you said probably there. Probably, it's up to you. It's like the channel.
Yeah.
Here. You know, if you want to be on here,
That's,
you've got to agree. So
that's probably a good idea for me to turn this off and do something else instead.
yeah. Did she enjoy The Warriors, by the way? When you let her watch that,
Yeah.
she loved it. Yeah.
It's good. Not quite gritty enough for me.
No,
It's,
Predator all day long. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I'm now sort of I'm flailing about in the dark here. There's 3 selections left, so it could be one of. I'm gonna go that Rob told me the next one was puzzles.
Okay. That's fine. Go.
Whatever. Again, my channel. It's my,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
it's my channel, Rob. Whatever. So puzzles. I've gone for a classic Mega Drive title, and that I picked up at a car boot in about 93, 94. And it's a series, a really, really famous series. Really building it up here, people are going to get shocked. And it's a Pac-Man game, but it's Pac-Mania. And Pac-Mania is, I know exactly what you're going to choose as well, and I'm going to have to write that down. I'm going to have to find a bit of room on this paper to write it down.
You get it wrong, but okay, yeah.
I don't know if, yeah, now you said that, I probably will. No, Pac-Mania was an isometric. It wasn't sort of a top-down version, and I think you used to be able to like, jump the walls and things like that. I probably remembered that wrong. But yeah, it was a really interesting take on the Pac-Man series. I never completed it, but I remember I got really, really far into it, and picked up at a car boot. And I think it was probably about sort of, like I said, it was probably about 93, 94. I seem to recall it was quite an early Mega Drive game, about 91, 92, and it was really cool because like we only paid like 20 pence for it. You got so much enjoyment out of it, and it even had this like awesome like board game that was promoted in the game, and I got that for Christmas the year after. Oh, it's great games. But so yeah, I'm gonna go for Pac-Mania. Like I said, there'll be some footage on the screen here so people can see it. But yeah, it's one of those games that you can still commonly pick up on eBay for about five to 7 quid, something like that. But it's well worth it. It's one of the cheaper games, but. Yeah, it's a really, really decent game. I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to go for Pac-Mania on puzzle games.
I've not played it, but it sounds very good. So it's not similar to Pac-Man and.
It's no, the premise of it. It's exactly the same, right? It's exactly the same, but it's not top down. So it's like like the FIFA games on the Mega Drive. They're at the funny angle, the isometric angle.
Yeah.
It's like that. So you look at it and you can see sort of further over to the corners rather than sort of just top down. And it was quite cool animation on it and stuff as well. So I always remember that was quite good. But yeah, I'd say it's definitely sort of one of my favourite games. Yeah, definitely check it out. I think you can download it actually because I think it was released by Sega. I think you can download it on iPhones and things. So yeah, have a look.
Check it out. So you can write my choice down.
No, you've put me off now. No, it's fine.
No, you paint yourself into a corner, Sean.
Okay.
You made your beds.
Okay,
that's
fine. Doesn't mean I have to write it now. I'm intrigued if it's not this. But
I know
the fact that, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm going to write. You know it's going to be wrong, and it's probably a reason that I didn't select it. So I'm a little bit. So anyway, but it's not all about me. So anyway, I'm going to go on. Should we go on 3 again?
Yeah, go on.
1, 2, 3.
So Leo's Fortune. And then,
there you go. Got it right. Yeah. Oh, I'm the wrong bit.
I'll edit that out later. So I'll write it in. I can put it down right.
Imperfect computer text. Yeah. Got it right first time.
Yeah. It's amazing you type that as well so quickly you're down.
You know,
so
doesn't lie, Rob. So
obviously you're going to choose Mega Bomberman because, as we both know, I love the Mega Bomberman series, and again put in some kind of serious Mega Bomberman time in, which I think was well invested, and has served me well in the rest of my life. And, many an important business meeting I've considered the lessons I've learned from Mega Bomberman. We were talking about this the other day about is it a puzzle game? I think it is. you know, it's a violent puzzle game, but I think it still counts as puzzle, kind of thinking through kind of how your routes and approaches and that kind of stuff of how you're going to come to it. So this is my honourable mention, which is Mega Bomb Man, which is, you know,
I wrote that down as well.
Write down,
So yeah,
which is you know, probably one of my favourite games. You know, kind of full stop. But I thought, you know, I played it safe for the first couple of entries. This. And these are all retro choices, so I'll choose something a little bit more modern, which is Leo's Fortune. So, excuse me, it's only one solution to that cough.
Irish.
Irish stuff. The doctor recommends it. Terrible doctor.
He's an alcoholic.
He recommends a lot of alcohol. But oh yeah, I've got a recommendation for you.
Yeah. I'll tell you something.
This isn't even doctor surgery. This is an off-license. I won't come through the wrong door here.
Not again.
Years of it coming to you, Mick. Well, you've been lying through your fake teeth. So the Leo's Fortune is well, I originally got it on Android TV because I brought. I don't think many people have brought an Android box thinking they could use it to play games like a console. But I made that mistake, thinking, well, imagine how many games are on your Android phone. Loads of them. Imagine if you could do that on a TV with like a game controller. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, and that would be so much, you know, cheaper than like, you know, a proper console that was designed by people who know how to make consoles. So I kind of brought an Android TV box thinking, okay, this is going to be great for streaming. I can use Android games. I need to get a wired connection because the Bluetooth doesn't work. And looking through the selection of Android games, there's like Trivial Pursuit.
I have seen the lineup actually on Android, and it's pretty decent actually. So I've seen. I can't remember who it was. It was when I was at when was I? It was a couple of years ago. It was one of my friends I went to a Pompey game with, an away game. No, sorry, I went to watch England play. They were playing Italy at Wembley. And I think it was the game after because we went to one of the games. I don't think it was Italy. But anyway, he was showing me in the car on the way up and some of the games on there because it was again, like you were saying, Streets of Rage you can get on an iPhone and things and probably Android as well. And I was showing him like all the classic Sega games. He goes, I was like, just out of interest, what games do you get? And he showed me. I can't remember what it was. It was there was one that it was like a shovel, a guy with a shovel, and you had to. It was funny enough a puzzle game. You had to basically get to this thing before an animal that was burrowing over the other side could get to it.
Right.
It was a bit like Lemmings, you know, when you set them to dig. And yeah, it was really. I was playing it for about 5 minutes, thinking actually I quite like the idea. I searched it, and you couldn't get it on iPhone. So
well, you know, was that on his Android?
Yeah, it was on his phone. He just showed, but it's similar software, isn't it? I suppose.
Well,
I don't know.
Therein lies the trick, because on the Android phone there are tons of great mobile games, and I made the mistake of assuming that all those games were available on an Android TV box.
Well, I did not know that. Okay.
That I could play on the TV, and I was wrong. So there's the majority of those games that you purchase on your mobile, when you go onto TV to try to play it, it says this game is not compatible with Android TV. So the list of games that are compatible for Android TV is actually very limited. There's probably
they've missed a step there, haven't they? They've definitely missed a step.
I think they've. So. I don't. Well, I'm sure there's people who earn better salaries than me who's worked out why it's not worth their while doing that, or why they don't want to do that for any particular reason. But it is a shame, because if all those games were available on Android TV, then you've got a console really with the kind of selection you've got. So I thought, oh no, this would be great because you can get like GTA on your mobile. You shoot
that'd be quite cool,
all that kind of stuff. Like, you can do this for a fraction of the price that an Xbox or a PlayStation would cost. So, but no, it's a mistake. So they've only got about a dozen games. Goat Simulator's on there if you're interested in Goat Simulation, that kind of thing. But I did come across I'm sure there's a couple of games, but it's not.
I'm sure,
it's
yeah,
nowhere
out
near
of the
the
whole
spectrum.
thousands there are, I'm sure there's at least 2. Yeah, that's a bit damning. Jesus.
But I did come across Leo's Fortune, and my daughter kind of saw it. And Leo's Fortune, you play like a ball, I guess, with like a furry ball, like a little Furby kind of thing, which can expand and contract, and can jump and slide at his request. And he's got like a Russian accent, or an Eastern European accent, and he's got a big moustache. And we were looking at this thing we wanted to play, and she's like, "Oh, that looks really good. Let's play that." And I said, "Oh no, I don't really want to spend money for that." She said, "Oh no, he's got like a moustache." And I said, "Well, his name's Leo, the Mustachio." And I said, "Mustachio?" She's, "Yeah, I want to play Mustachio. So it became a buzzword in my house for about a month. I want to play Mustachio, not knowing anything about the game at all. And then eventually I kind of I cracked and thought, okay, well I'll spend the £2.99 whatever it is to buy this game.
You spoiled that girl, Rob.
Yeah. Well, that's not that girl, right? I'll buy 6 of these beers rather than my normal 7 and spend the other money.
I stole the other 2, to make up to it. Yeah. Just.
Of course, I did make a work labour chart.
She's still working it off now. She was free when she bought it.
Yeah, still paying it off.
Yeah.
The interest rate on that loan is absurd.
They've got to learn, Rob, as we always say. They've got to learn. They've got to learn.
Now Wonga's down, you've got to learn to go and make money somewhere. So and it's fantastic. It's just really well.
I haven't heard that in ages.
It's just really well made, and
yeah.
It's a platform game where you kind of it's a platform game, but there's enough element of solving, which it's a puzzle game where you kind of bounce between spikes and kind of normal parts of the platform games. But there's a lot of do you ever remember playing the original kind of Prince of Persia games?
Yeah.
Where you think, right, so I've got to stand on that to let the trap door open, then I've got to move over there to let the chain go up, and then I've got to jump, and you're going to work out your approaches and how you do it. And it just, the mechanics of moving backwards and forwards and sliding is really well done, and kind of it's got like an independent game feel to it. There's like an artistry in the way that they've kind of constructed the layout of the levels and the backgrounds and that kind of stuff, and it's really well made. And we were playing it together. I said to her, "Oh, I'm really enjoying this game," and she looked at me like, "Are you actually joking?" Yeah, it is a great game. I tell you what, it would have been a great game 2 months ago when I suggested it in the first place as well. Yeah.
£2, Rob. £2.
You made me not play it for so long. Now you've got the nerve to say, "Oh, yeah,
get out."
Good. Yeah. So she's still not talking to me now, but that is my choice. Leo's Fortune, kind of a fantastic modern platform puzzler.
Nice. Well, that's good. I've just written down here. I've never seen it, so I'm gonna check that out after this. I'm glad you said puzzle through that as well, because I was thinking I have no idea which one I did last. So yeah, thank God we've only got 2 left. Jesus. So God, we were going to do like 7 or 8 at one stage, weren't we? This would have gone on forever. So don't worry, guys. There'll be another video in a few weeks. So
Look forward to that.
Yeah, look forward to that. Set the reminders for that. So I'm going to go for sports that you said next.
Yeah, okay.
Because I seem to recall that the last one is what you said last. So there's an obvious reason behind why I've said this one now. So sports, a bit controversial. Is it a sport? Is it not? Is it entertainment? I think that's sort of summed up where I'm going here. So, but I tell you what, Rob. You give it a guess. Have you got any paper in front of you?
I think we're heading down the same route here, Sean.
I think I want to see what you say. I just want to see what you say.
Entertainment coming close together gives a big away. But there's a lot to choose from there. So, what do I think you're going to go for? So I'm going to go for. I think you might go for. Okay.
I quite like. I think this should be a thing for the videos from now on, that you get a chance to guess.
The thing is, I've drunk far too much to be able to write, allegedly. Or, I mean, this.
Okay, we're going to do it on 3 again?
University educated, you know. I can't even write. But can you read? You see any of that? No.
I can't see it.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. So it says, I've gone for.
So I'm looking here. I'm supposed to be looking here, but Rob's on the video here to me. So
I've gone for
is that SmackDown?
SmackDown versus Raw is.
You're in the right. You're in the right ballpark, but
okay.
I'm going for WWF. I think at the time, before they get the F out campaign.
Yeah.
So WWF No Mercy on the N64. Man, what a game! I put this on last night. I kid you not. I put this on, and the music took me straight back. The entrance scene took me right back straight away. I remember being at home in Cosham and just playing on this game. Like, I would get home from where... So Rob and I used to work at a store called Alders back in... And seriously, I used to get in
Doesn't
from
even
work.
exist anymore.
Doesn't even exist. But oh God, we didn't do hardly any work there at all. I worked on the toy department.
Speak yourself there, Sean.
Yeah. Every time I came round for you, you did nothing. I'm pretty sure you slept on the carpets during the day. No, I worked in the toy department and Rob worked over on... Was it Carpetright that you worked in?
Yeah.
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 They've got their own stores now, Rob.
Yeah,
so
I know.
They've done well. You've helped them massively.
I'm not saying it's entirely due to my input.
Well,
you know...
No, I think it is.
Opinions are divided on that.
Yeah, well...
My opinion and
they're wrong, so...
And their organisation's opinion.
Well, let's just see how they do now, eh? 20 years after you left. So, but yeah, we used to... so I used to get home from work and I literally used to play on that game the evening, I'd say, till at least 1 in the morning of the following day, and I just absolutely loved it. I remember spending in... I think I got it from Electronic Boutique at the time, which at the time when Rob and I worked at Alders, the High Street, Commercial Road at Portsmouth was amazing. You had so many video game stores down there. You had Virgin Megastores, you had HMV, you had a game station, 2 games, Electronics Boutique, and a Woolworths. And that was all like you could easily go round if you wanted to buy a game and just get a game for like massively inexpensive if you just played them off against one another. And you had Argos as well that used to have good lot. But I got it, I remember buying it in HMV brand new, and I think at the time all games for the N64 were like 50 quid. I remember spending... I actually weighed up about buying this game or going home on the bus for the next 2 weeks. And I bought this game and then I started running home. So I started running home, and then that's led to me doing marathons and God knows what. So I've got the game to thank for that. So who says video gaming's bad? So I bought that game, and the thing I loved about it was that it only took you... There was no combos, there was nothing like that. It was so easy, and the N64 pad, I think the N64 is one of the best consoles for wrestling games. And I'll say that because there's so many good titles on there. And THQ used to make them all, and THQ just did such a great job on the wrestling games. I absolutely loved it, and the fact that you could wrestle against like Vince McMahon and JR was on there, and they had classics that you could buy in the shop. It was one of the first wrestling games I ever knew to have like a shop, and you could buy like Andre the Giant was on there. I think Macho Man was on there. Vince McMahon's cronies were on there. What were they? Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. Used to be able to buy them as well. But the gameplay was amazing. Like the ladder matches you could do, which is funny enough, the footage I recorded from last night, I put in this video, and the ladder matches were just absolutely crazy. Some of the moves you could do. But yeah, so I'm going to go for No Mercy on the N64. I think commonly known as one of the better titles. So you could probably say I'm playing it safe there, but seriously, it's not the first time I've mentioned No Mercy on my channel. I absolutely love that game. It's so good. And I could go on about it all night. But yeah, I mean, we're coming close to 50 minutes at the moment on this video. So it's crazy. Once you start talking, you just get... Yeah, anyway. So what's yours?
Well, I think No Mercy is a solid choice, to be honest. It is a fantastic game.
We played it. I remember us playing it.
No, I certainly put in plenty of time to... If I were to be a criticism of it, you know, it's very blocky, and I know they all were, but on the N64 versions of those kind of things as well, they're really kind of polygony, kind of with big block things. And the other thing you think, what about the controller on the N64? Is that
Well, the controller I thought worked really well.
Or kind of
I actually thought it worked really well because you had the directional pad, you had the stick in the middle, you had the button on the back, and you had two main buttons that would be grappling and punch. You also had shoulder buttons, and it's a controller now that you can go back to. And I think we spoke about it before when we went to Gaming Market. The controllers now, the Xbox 360. I don't even own an Xbox One or 360. But from holding those gamepads, they're probably the most comfortable gamepads that I've ever had. I mean, the PlayStation ones get a bit sort of, you get cramps and stuff after a while in your hands. But the N64 is just really, it's one of those that works when you have kids' hands and also when you're grown up, because it works. It's just the right size. Whereas when you go back and play things like the NES or the Master System, the controllers are like tiny.
Yeah.
But that's right. But yeah, I actually think it worked really well, the controller. But yeah, I think it's just I got used to it playing it and things like that. I mean, we used to play GoldenEye all the time, didn't we? I remember that. So.
But that's the thing. When I think about the N64 controller, I think about it as shooters because having the thumb analog and your left hand as if it was a gun, and then on GoldenEye, and then using the additional buttons on your right, just see kind of to fit so well. But then actually having to switch it over to kind of the left and the right for the rest of the games. It'd be nice to have the two analogs which you've got on kind of
I get that.
PS3. Not to knock it though, because it is as you say, you get used to it.
See you later, Rob.
Yeah.
See you later.
So I'm not going to use this video.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No, it's a fantastic game and it's a fantastic console. So my choice is obviously a sports entertainment title, and is WWF SmackDown 2.
So Just Bring It.
Just Bring It on the PS1.
That's
and just because my memories of the SmackDown series, and I get a little confused about kind of remembering which one was that you could have that option, and which one was the second one you choose that. I probably need to go back and play my way through them to remind myself which features. But I remember getting kind of SmackDown 2 and putting it in and turning it on, and it hooked me right from the start because the intro was live video, not live, was real with the video cutscene of the introduction to SmackDown, as if I had been watching SmackDown on TV and then recorded a highlight reel of the best of SmackDown, and it was showing on the start of the game. And I think I hadn't seen that too many times before on a console game where you saw kind of footage from the TV show, and I thought, oh, this is fantastic! It's got the same music and it's got the same things, and it's like they've just taken the experience and made a game for it. I can join it in, which is exactly what they had to. But yeah, it pulled me in right from the get-go, and as you say, you brought back just by the intro music. So earlier on, watching the videos of the SmackDown Who just kind of brought me back entirely to it. And obviously there's a great selection of kind of game options, kind of Hell in Cell, the amount of time I threw someone through that cell or off that cell, recreating Mick Foley's kind of greatest injuries. And but also the ability to create your own character.
Oh man, we spent hours on that. Man,
the amount of time we spent on that, saying, right, I've got to get the name and I've got to get the guy. So and each time you got a new game, I wanted to recreate that character on that new game with a.
But you can always make them a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could always
refine them.
That's it. Yeah, I remember when they introduced text onto the shirts, so you could put like slogans on there and ring attire to walk in, and it was just Well, that is actually a different video. I'm going to chat to you after we finish recording this.
Yeah.
There's something else I think we need to do, mate. It'll be great. It'll be good. So SmackDown 2 is a brilliant suggestion. I think that's the one with Triple H and China on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. And
yeah.
Yeah,
I've got that actually upstairs.
I think you also could. Isn't that where you would also had the hardcore belt was in there? And
yes, I think it was.
You would also get when you were in career mode, you'd get people attack you backstage.
That's it.
And you'd think, right, well, I'm doing well. My character is like Scorpion was what the character made.
That's it. I was trying to remember what
it was.
And
it was all red and black, and you know, he was doing really well. He was about to challenge for the World Championship, and then X-Pac. No, I don't. Where do you get off? Yeah.
I just imagine you doing a drunk rant now.
Yeah.
Against Sean Waltman.
In the locker room. Where do you get on? You're not in my league. What are you thinking? You know, well, you need the chair to win that fight. That's why you win. But not that I'm.
Yeah. You better run.
Yeah. Let it go. Yeah, you better run. I'll catch up with you. I think,
nice.
Great, this is going to divert from my career mode now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to recover now and chase after some skinny light heavyweight. So, no, mate, it's a brilliant suggestion. I honestly think so far this is, if I was watching this video at 55 something minutes, I would say, why am I still watching these two talk about memories that I have no...
I agree.
But I've always said my YouTube channel, if people watch, brilliant, I really appreciate it, and appreciate every sub and every comment and every like, but I really treat my YouTube as memories, and I love like looking back at parts like, you know, I've got Goodwood festivals that I've been to, the Belgian Grand Prix, British Grand Prix, and you know, going to the Olympics. I've been really lucky to be able to cover a lot on my channel, so I look at it as a bit of a time capsule really to look back, and it's great now to have, you know, one of your closest mates on. It's just brilliant. So
I know we had a fifth one on there, but given the time, should we leave that over for a potential next?
No, but Rob, if they've watched 57 minutes, they want to see the rest. We promised them 5. They're going to get 5. So no, they're getting 5. Rob.
Okay.
You know what? Even actually, no. You've done it. You're getting 6 now. You don't even know about the 6th one, right? Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the last one then.
Move to a different beer.
Who are you pumping now?
This is something Germanic.
Yeah, that's. Drink anything. So, right. So the last one is simulation games. So I have only played a handful of simulation games, but I've covered a few on my channel. One is Eastside Hockey Manager, which I could have picked. But the other one that I really wanted to bring up is Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I absolutely loved that game series. I really played Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 for quite a long time, but then I got Steam about 7 or 8 years ago, and it was on there on sale for like £8, and it was ridiculous, and it's just incredible. What isn't to like about it? I mean, it's Theme Park I grew up playing quite a lot, and we played Theme Park, I remember doing that. But Roller Coaster Tycoon just seems to, there's more that you can customise on it, more things you can do, and also there's a lot of expansion packs for it, and they don't make Theme Park anymore from my memory. So Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I mean, it's one of those games that you can throw on just to play. I've got half hour before I've got to head out, put that on or something. Some people might put someone else on, I don't know. But if you put Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on, or any of them, you're easily... It's a bit like Football Manager when you've been on it for 6 hours and haven't actually played a game, because you're trying to find where Roberto Carlos plays in the back four. So it's a bit like that. So you can just lose hours on that game. I mean, I've spent far too many hours that I'd wish to think about really on that game. But yeah, like I said, the customization, the amount of rides that you can get, and also it gets quite difficult in the later levels. I'm nowhere near completing it, but yeah, it always makes you want to come back and play it again. So yeah, I'd definitely say Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 for me.
Well, I'm a bit of a disadvantage because I've never played any of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, but yeah, they sound really good. I think I might go check them out, because my choice is the original is Theme Park.
Oh,
probably you're right. Probably if I went through the Roller Coaster Tycoon series, I'd say Theme Park's great, but actually this brings it on a little bit further. But having not played those, my kind of memories are of theme park, and the simple joy of increasing the caffeine content in the coffee,
and then taking that footpath away and surrounding it with a moat.
Yeah.
Oh, and a cash machine, wasn't it? Was that the other thing you could put on there?
And thinking, how little can I pay my maintenance of this theme park before actually things start exploding?
Oh, he's left.
And and people start getting thrown everywhere. What's the most interesting patterns of, as you say, pathways I can choose to spell out different words across the screen?
Rob is God halfway across his park. So.
Oh, you've been there.
Yeah.
Rob is God.
Yeah. I saw that one. Yeah. The death trap. Yeah.
It's and the union negotiations when you've got the hands.
Yeah.
Gliding across the thing.
You know what? As we're shooting this video in different things, I think we could probably do one of those. So, you're gonna have to come from.
I'll go the other way.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, there you go. That's good.
You've got to come to me. Come to me.
No. I don't have to. I don't have to do. Yeah. Nice. I remember that. That was good.
It's fun memories, and again, as with Sonic, you can't. Or Streets of Rage, common theme. You can't save it on the Mega Drive.
No, you get codes, don't you? You get codes on the Mega Drive, but you only got them after you get codes after 5 or 6 levels. So yeah, you do get them on the SNES. You do as well. Actually, you get it on the first level on the SNES. But yeah, if you look for codes online, you'll just get them all. They'll all come up. So yeah, do that, Rob. There you go.
And yeah, I think I probably didn't know that, but I probably forgotten that.
I think you probably told me that in all honesty. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, you get it all.
A solid selection there, mate. And I nearly went for theme park, but I thought actually I've played Roller Coaster Tycoon a lot more. So
I can just add a very brief honourable mention to SimCity 2000, which probably deserves a video in its own right. The amount of time you can sink into planning the sanitation system of your system, your city, to painstakingly develop the relationship between retail and residential and industrial, only then to release Godzilla onto your city to watch him smash it and burn it to the ground with kind of a macabre sense of joy. It's fantastic. This took me so long to make.
I've wasted 7 hours of my life, but look at Godzilla go!
I'd do it again.
I love him.
We'll do it again.
No, SimCity is good actually. I do like SimCity. So to go down for anyone that has watched an hour of us rambling, but I love these videos whenever I watch them. Like people just act like. There's a lot of live streams going around at the moment, and to watch these live streams, they're so good. Sort of watching people just talk about video games and stuff, and like I think we've both found games like the puzzle game you suggested, which I've written on here somewhere. I'm definitely going to check that out, and like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, yeah definitely.
Check that out.
But I'll put footage in anyway on this video so you can sort of see. But so my suggestions were: number 1, I went for platformers. I went for Abe's Exodus. Number 2, I went for the Warriors. Number 3, I think we did puzzles. I went for Pac-Mania. Number 4 was sports. I went for No Mercy on the N64, and I went for on simulation. I went for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So what was your one, Rob? For anyone, I'll put a jump cut right at the front. If anyone wants to go right to the end, just watch what people suggest.
So on platform, I chose Sonic 2. For puzzles, I chose Leo's Fortune. On beat 'em ups, I chose Streets of Rage 2. And on sports, I chose WWF, SmackDown 2, Know Your Role. And on simulation, I chose Theme Park.
Solid. So guys,
solid. Can't argue that.
Comment down below, and we apologise for taking. We apologise for taking nearly an hour and 5 minutes out of your life. But anyway, I said there was going to be 6 questions, and I've got a coin here. So, not double-headed coin either. There you go, heads and tails on the back there, and heads there. Okay. So Rob, I'm showing it's my phone, but you can see it, Rob. There. Okay. Right.
It's not really
heads. No, it's not chocolate. So heads, it's going to be Metallica. Okay. All right.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say. All right.
Yeah.
And heads. All right. Okay, right. I'm going to show you. I haven't turned it. So whatever that is, can you see?
No.
Oh, damn! It's heads. Okay. So the question was going to be favourite Metallica song.
Are you just throwing this out to me at the end?
No, because Tails was favourite George Michael song. So,
Yeah. Favourite Metallica. You put this with no preparation. You know.
No preparation. No. Well, you get to do it on the next one. I think you choose the question on the next one. But it was going to be George Michael, which I know you probably have no. I mean, there is obviously a right answer with George Michael, but anyway, I'm just saying.
Well, I'll play it safe and go for Whom the Bell Tolls. But I mean, that's one of my top 100 Metallica songs. So yeah, they're all joint. Most of them are joint top. Yeah.
Rob, you did this to me. I'm saying, Sean, should we stop it at 50 minutes and leave them and cut them off at 4? No, Rob. No, you're getting 6. I had to think off the cuff there. I nearly had Britney Spears as the.
So what's your favourite Metallica song? Sure?
I would have to go with an Alan Partridge selection and go the best of Metallica. Okay, I would have to go with something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, George Michael again. I mean, where do you start with George Michael? Quality songs. Anyway, guys, thanks for taking up an hour and 8 minutes of your life now. Other bands are available if you do want to go check those out. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like I said, Rob and I been friends for an awful long time, so we've always wanted to do a video. And
this is the worst FaceTime date I've ever had.
The person had a beard at the end. The person had a beard at the end and obviously hasn't brushed their hair. So, anyway, we just wanted to thank you guys for watching. I think we're going to do another instalment if you fancy watching this again.
Wait till you read the comment section first before you make that decision. Before you.
No, again, Rob, I've said it now, thrown it out there. You've got to come back for another hour and 10 minutes. So, but we'll cover another 5 genres, or maybe we'll actually do 3 in the next one. So, and plus the magic question with the coin. So, that'll be good. But anyway, guys, as I said, thanks for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you again soon. So, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, thank God you picked up on that. I thought I'm not going to have to go. Rob, you've got to say bye.
Bye.
It's rude. You've given him an hour and 10 minutes of your life. So he said bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.